in this video, kasama ko si Jessie. Yung kwento niya is from rags to riches. Yung family nila, they started na talagang walang money. Sabi niya, they started poor. Hindi nila alam kung saan kukuhanan yung pangbayad ng mga importanteng bills. Also, pagka sa school, laging promissory note. Grabe, nakaka-inspire yung story na ito. So, watch this video. Before you became an expert on finances, the CEO of a construction company, siyempre may mga battle scars ka and yung mga pinagdaanan na hindi talaga madali. So, can you share us that story?
Sige. Parang first time sa public, no? No.
Okay, okay lang mag-iyakan tayo. Pwede tayo mag-iyakan kung gusto mo. No problem.
May tissue pala dito, no? No, thank you, Neil. Let me begin the story sa my childhood, no? I grew up back then I think it's a third or fourth class, even a fourth class municipality, no, in Interlac, no. So I grew up there. My mom is a public school teacher. Tapos yung father ko naman, mga odd jobs, different jobs. Wala talaga yung regular job because he was not able to finish school. He had me. I'm the eldest in the family, and siblings of 4, the children of 4. So he had me when he was 18, no? Pagitong-pagito, batang-bata pa siya. So medyo odd jobs, no? He was a tricycle driver. I grew up knowing na nag-drive siya ng tricycle. Tapos naging ahente ng mga Tupperware. Yan. And my mom is a public school teacher. So sanay akong magbalot ng mga yema, no? Mga pulburon, kasi yung mga tinitinda, mga side hustle ng mga teachers back then, no? Pag boss mo ng cabinet nila during recess, may binibenta mga pulburon sa mga estudyante. So basically, that's the childhood. So at an early age, I knew na hindi kami mayaman. So we are financially challenged. Even just thinking about it now, you could really consider us poor, no? But my parents were really, really great during that time, especially my mom. Na we understand that we are not rich, mahirap yung buhay, but masaya, no? So wala siyang hardship in terms of emotional aspect during that time. So sanay akong pumunta sa palengke. So it's like an activity, or para siyang laro sa akin, no? Nasanay akong pupunta mag-hop sa ibang mga tindahan, utang ng bigas, utang ng goods, no? Tapos sanay akong pumila every exam date, no? Sanay akong pumila sa principal's office na may bitbit na love letter ang tawag ko, but it's really a promissory note because we're always late in paying the tuition fee. Tapos ang activity namin, these are part of my core memories that are happy core memories, no? Part ng activity namin every bakasyon is i-compile lahat ng libro ng mga naunang batch sa amin, yung mga pinsan ko na mas matanda sa akin. So, ilalatag namin sa mahabang mesa. May dala-dala kami mga pambura, buburahin yung mga answers because we have to reuse that book the next school year. So, I never had, during my grade school and high school, I never had a new book, no? Tapos yung part of our activity yung summer din is yung lahat ng mga unused leaves ng notebook, tatanggalin mo lahat yan kasi di ba, nakatali. So tatanggalin mo yan, tapos i-reuse mo lahat ng yung mga unused, yung mga hindi pa nasulatan. So my dream back then, since I understood that we're not rich, my only dream back then is really to be not poor, no? Just to help out the family in at least buying the essentials. No? So yun na naging at an early age, yun ang natatak sa akin. Tapos since we are in a third or fourth class municipality, I'm just not sure, but ang naalala ko lang na meron sa amin na building back then is yung building ng PCI Bank. BDO na siya ngayon. At doon lang ako nakakita ng mga tao na nakabarong or naka-Amerikana, naka-tie, no, mga naka-dress, kapumada. So, ang feeling ko, pag natrabaho ako sa bangko, no, yayaman ako, no? Kasi sila mukhang mababango, no? Mukhang hindi pinagpapawisan, no? Mukhang mayayaman. So, when I went to college, no, pumunta ako sa Manila nung college. So, I took up accountancy, no? So, with the goal of really being a banker. So, true enough, no, pagkatapos ng college, I was able to be employed, gainfully employed sa isang bangko, no, as an accountant. Doon ko lang na-realize, no, na hindi pala hindi pala ganun kalaki ang sweldo, no. So imagine during that time, this is early 2000, my basic pay back then was 6,600, no, naalala ko pa. Because of the taxes, your take-home pay would be 2,900 every cut off. No? You know, alam mo yung yung consolation ko or my reward, no, gift ko sa sarili ko every payday is sumakay ng FX, no. Masayang-masaya na ako noon. Sumakay ng FX every 15th and 30th kasi yung regular is jeep, no. I was living in nakatira ako sa isang boarding house near Quiapo, no. Imagine mo sa isang boarding house, 12 kayo nandun, tatlong triple deck, no? That's 9 people, yung tatlo nasa sahig. So wala kang regular na kama. So kung huli kang dumating, sa sahig ka, no? And with 2.9, kasi nang mura doon no? But with 2.9, yun lang ang kaya mo. That's basically what you can afford, no? Tapos I'm still helping out my parents in sending my 2 sisters to school back then, no? So, yung 2.9 na yun, pagkakasyahin mo, and reward ko lang sarili ko nga is the FX, no? Tapos, 2 years, more than 2 years of doing that, I realized na hindi talaga ako yayaman, no? If I stick doon sa trabaho. So, I look for other jobs, no? Sakto noon, sa boarding house namin, meron laging bumibisita, no? Na hindi ko naman malaman bakit during that time, whether umulan or umaraw, itong taon to laging naka-jacket, tsaka naka-shades, no? Tsaka laging nagpapainom, ang daming pera. So, hindi ako nakatiis. Sabi ko, Parson ba, ano bang ginagawa mo? What's your job? So, yun sa akin, call center. Ano? Call center. Lang pa. Call center pala. During those time, yeah.
Call center.
Call center, no? So during those time, kakapasok lang ng call center sa Pilipinas. So I got curious, tapos sinabi niya, ang laki nga daw ng laki ng sweldo. Tapos when he asked me ano yung ginagawa ko, sabi ko nasa bangko ko. Sabi niya, sakto-sakto, we're looking for people who will be handling a financial account, no? May financial account daw. Tapos 2 banks nasa US, no? So I applied, no? So nag-apply ako diyan. Yung first try ko, I failed, no? During the interview. Kasi daw, wala akong age, no? Sabi ko, ganun po talaga mga Kapampangan, wala kaming age, yung house lang. But this interviewer gave me another chance. Sabi niya, balik ka after a month, no? Magkakaroon kami ng rehiring. Balik ka, let's try it again. So, in short, bumalik ka after a month. Then, thankfully, I got hired. No? It's the first time that I saw my ATM na meron akong 14,000 pesos. Parang gusto kong tumalon sa gitna ng Makati. Imagine from 6,000 jumping to 14,000, that's a huge jump. No? So sabi ko, makakaipon na ako dito. No? But, unfortunately, hindi pa rin nakaipon. No? Kasi, hindi na ako nag-jeep everyday, FX na. No? Yeah. Tapos, after mabilis yung mga promotion doon kasi it's a relatively new company. So, in less than a year, I got promoted to a team leader. No? So, a team leader back then, sumasahod ka ng 30,000. So, I think this was year 2004. So, 30,000 back then is a huge amount of money. Pero, hindi pa rin ako nakasave. So, I wasn't able to save. Bakit? Siyempre, hindi na ako nag-jeep, hindi na ako nag-FX, taxi na everyday. No? Siyempre, bumili na rin ako ng jacket tsaka ng shades. Natikman ko na rin yung kapeng mahal na hindi masarap. No? So, wala talaga na save. Then a couple of months after being a team leader, I got promoted again for another tier ng supervisor, earning close to 60,000. So, may naipon pa rin ba ako? Wala pa rin ako naipon kasi I don't live in Quiapo anymore. Lumipat na ako sa Makati po. So that's my financial story during those career. No? So I understood that we are poor. I had to have this mindset of earning more and more, no? To sustain your essentials plus saving money. Then doon ko lang na-realize na during those years na hindi para it's not really about how much you make. No? That's really important. It's really your discipline on how much you can keep with how much you can make. No? I realized then it's not, if you cannot save a penny from your small salary, you could never save 1,000 from your big salary. No? Yung 6,000 ako, hindi ako nakakapag-ipon, pero ng 60,000, hindi pa rin nakakapag-ipon. So it's not about how much you are making. Then the turning point of my financial story is really when I was able to attend a seminar and met my first financial mentor. No? If you're familiar with the yung Rich Dad Poor Dad, no? They had a cash flow 101 board game that I was able to attend. No? In hindsight, kapag tinitinan mo yung libro ngayon, no, kung pinasa mo, there's a lot of questionable ideas right now. No? But during that time, I think the one thing that I really just appreciated, it was able to open my mind about money and how I can develop a strategy that would be advantageous for me regardless of my income level. So I met this mentor. He helped me out. He taught me about spending plan, taught me about the budget plan. I know this right now as a jar system, and nakita ko siya as a jar system. But back then, he called it a spending plan. No? So sabi niya, planuhin mo lang how much you're gonna spend. Allocate mo for your major expenses. No? So you wanna make sure meron ka natitira. So that's the pivot. Dun nag-start yung nag-start yung aking interest in not only with gainful employment and trying to increase my income column, but really increasing my asset column too. That's why I entered into several side hustles sa business. So even during my years nung nasa call center, since medyo magaan yung trabaho, during the nighttime, pagdating ng daytime, I could still work. So I was able to open some side hustles. I was able to open a computer shop, Siomayan, sa Patusan. I was even an Avon lady ng matagal, no? Ako lang yata yung lalaking Avon lady sa Laguna back then, no? So, pagdating ko ng opisina, may bitbit ako mga lipstick, may mga bra, no? Binibenta yan. Tapos nung pumasok, nag-uso yung mga glutathione soap sa Pilipinas. I also joined a company selling it. So, yun ang mga bit-bit ko lagi sa sa opisina. So, every opportunity that na pwedeng kumita, no, I did that during those years. So, I think that really helped me in trying to build the mindset and the character of trying to develop a different streams of income for you. Sorry, ang haba na yan. Yung kwento.
Yeah, I mean, I was just really listening to it. Ang daming mga learnings and realizations na, oh, grabe, no? Ang galing ni Jessie kasi even in the midst of adversity or yung hindi naging madali yung simula, nag-persevere ka. And siguro dun sa kwento mo, marami rin ako mga siguro follow-up questions so that people who are listening to it then mas makuha pa ng insights with your amazing journey to financial freedom. And yung nasabi mo, di ba, you grew up with the family na yung sakto lang na, I mean, minsan nga hirap pa to pay for the education, may promissory note, and I'm sure maraming tao na napagdaanan yun. So, in a way, you are someone who started from zero. Kumbaga, walang naipamana sa'yo. And which is, yun yung hand that was played to you or given to you. Ano yung siguro practical advice that you can give to people who are wanting more or maahon ang pamilya nila sa kahirapan to have the goals that they want? And yun nga, they are starting from zero. Any like practical tip? Kasi ikaw, success story ka na starting from zero. Pero people who are watching now, starting from zero, ano yung mga pwede nilang gawin?
I think the big before we go doon sa mga technical and really practical things that you could do, really first is trying to develop that mindset. No? Because for me, the success in financial success or success in life is really, the 90% of it is really your attitude towards a situation or towards something. No? 10% lang talaga dyan yung knowledge. So first, I think what really helped me is I realized that all of us, no, lahat tayo, meron tayong pagdadaanan mga disyerto. These are, sa akin, it's a financial desert. No? So it's just how you can change the narrative. You have to accept and realize, no, that you can always change your narrative. You can always change your story. You have to begin with that. No? A lot of people stayed poor or stayed with their situation because parang nawala na ng pag-asa. There's no hope. No? Na yung tatay ko, yung nanay ko mahirap, yung lola at lola ko mahirap. So ako rin, malamang mabubuhay at mamamatay na mahirap. That should not be the case. No? Lahat tayo, we are given 24 hours in a day. May darating and nagdarating, one point in your life, an opportunity would come by, no, that could help you out in changing that narrative. And you want to make sure you are always prepared. For people na sinasabi, I'll just put on my business kapag mayaman na ako, may pera na. I'll just save up kapag tumaas na yung sweldo. No. Success is always a combination of preparation and opportunity. No? So pag wala pa yung opportunity, habang wala yung opportunity right na nandyan, you always have to prepare yourself first. No? Kung wala pa yung puhunan, yung naisip mong negosyo, educate yourself about it. No? At least halfway of the battle, nandun ka na. Once dumating yung opportunity, tapos ikaw ay prepared na dahil na-develop mo na yung skill set mo doon sa particular business na yon, then most probably, no, I could bet na you will be successful in that endeavor. So change your mindset first. No? Yun yung doon. Engineer your mindset. Know that you can always change your story. Know that you can always change the narrative.
Grabe, ang galing nun ah. You can always change the story. No matter how poor you think you are, it is not something that will define you in your future and even for the future generations of your family. Kasi nga, yung poor, it's just really a mindset. Hindi siya a status in life na poor ako, mamamatay na akong poor. But if you know that you have the power to change the narrative, the power to change the story, na hindi ikaw yung biktima, but you can overcome. Ang gandang nun empowering yun kasi lahat tayo may pinagdadaanan. Lahat tayo may kanya-kanyang problema. But it's you doing whatever you have on your hand and being faithful. Kasi nakita ko sa'yo, Jesse, you have been faithful with little. And because you have been faithful with the little, you have been faithful with much. That's why you can be entrusted with much. Sometimes the people who are aspiring more, sa maliit na bagay, hindi naman magkakatiwalaan. They're not giving their best. They're not going beyond what's expected. So, syempre, ba't ka mapagkakatiwalaan sa malaki? Sa maliit, parang hindi mo pa binibigay, bare minimum lang, right? So,
correct.
Ang ganda lang rin ng story mo na it can happen. No matter how quote-unquote poor you are, but if you see yourself na sige, maaring wala akong pera ngayon or broke, pero having a mindset na hindi, I can change the narrative. Kung natutunan ko to, maaaral ko to. So, yeah, thank you Jessie for that.